Thousands of years after the Earthfall event, a legendary hero arose from the darkness. Using power they had gained over a millennia of accumulation, they raised a crystal from the sea, which was a remnant of a weapon that destroyed their very civilization. And this crystal became the heart, the beating heart of a brand new city and civilization. This hero was named Aroden, and the crystal was known as the Star Stone. After passing many trials and many tests from the crystal, Aroden ascended to godhood. And from this godhood, he raised an island from the middle of the sea. This is where he would found his city and where he would build his religious organization. This city was known as Absalom City. Absalom City is one of the bigger places you can visit in the world of Golarion. It was built on the island of Kortos, which was raised from the sea by Aroden. Over 5 millennia, Absalom City has been built, destroyed, rebuilt, destroyed again, rebuilt again, and because of this, you can find some very architecturally diverse buildings. The diversity of the buildings is matched by the diversity of its residents. Races from all over Golarion and even other worlds can be found here at Absalom City. Absalom City is a bright, shining beacon of hope. It is a degenerate thieves' den. It is an educated place of learning. There is something for everyone anywhere you want to go. With countless neighborhoods and nearly a dozen districts, today I'm going to give you a bit of an overview of the city of Absalom. After Aroden had gained his power and raised the island from the inner sea region, he used his power to build a cathedral for himself. Known as the Starstone Cathedral, it is a constantly evolving and changing set of pathways, hallways, booby traps, meant to discourage anyone from following exactly what Aroden had done. It is a grand, glittering temple. It is built near a seemingly endless chasm. Over time, as this cathedral has become forgotten, it has fallen into disrepair. It has become decrepit. And while still considered an architectural marvel, even by today's standards, it is now used as an embassy for Chillax. There is also the area of the Azlanti Keep. This was also designed by Aroden himself. This massive fortified keep is built in traditional Azlanti stylings. It is also the headquarters for the First Guard, which is the Absalom City Army, and they protect the city from external threats. There is quite a few other districts to cover, but if you are enjoying today's video around Pathfinder 2nd Edition, then please let me know by hitting the thumbs up button, and if you want to see more Pathfinder and Starfinder content from myself, then please hit subscribe with the bell notification. Unsurprisingly, the area called the Coins is where all the trading happens. Merchants and hucksters, snake oil salesmen, they all come here to peddle their wares. This area is loud, there is lots of shouting. There's also lots of shouting in foreign languages. The city's largest market, known as the Grand Bazaar, it is said to contain any item that you could ever desire. Although in some cases you may have to search pretty long and hard for it. The Coins District is fairly safe by day, but by night, there are some areas you should definitely steer clear of. Areas by the Puddles and the docks, these become dangerous to be walking alone at night. Now this will lead us into the docks area. Unsurprisingly, this is where all the ships will unload their cargo. This area will be full of taverns, warehouses, wagons, and carts pulling all sorts of goods offloaded from the ships. The air would be fresh and salty because you have that wind coming in from the sea. This area would also be loud because dock workers tend to sing to pass the time while they do their chores. Now just off the shore, you will find the Flotsam Graveyard. This is a ship graveyard full of the remains of failed naval attacks on Absalom City. While pretty far removed from the center of the city, Eastgate is a bit of a nicer place to live in. Some minor noble houses can be found here. You will also find workers and artisans of many sorts here, those who are actually making some money. The oldest living tree on the island of Kortos can also be found here in this district. Known as the Grand Holt, this fig tree has several trunks on it, and it is very, very large, and it's still growing. Any of the homes around it are either being demolished by it or changing their building structure to adapt to the growing tree. A cult manages to take care of this tree known as the Circle of Stones. In short, called the Holt, This tree also provides safe refuge for druids and other nature lovers. The Foreign Quarter is where you can find anything that does not originate from Absalom City or the island of Kortos. Many buildings here will have architecturing styles from distant lands, the hotels, the streets. This tends to make foreigners feel welcome as they will be drawn to the areas or drawn to the buildings that remind them of home. There is a massive coliseum called the Eorium inside, and they will have big battles that draw crowds from all over the place. And not far from the coliseum, you will find the Grand Lodge. This is the worldwide headquarters for the Pathfinder Society. Now, the Ivy District is more of your theater, your performance. You go here to have a good entertainment experience. Culture, art, it can all be found here. Performers come from all over the world to be trained by the White Grotto. This area is also known for its particular beauty with gardens and the side streets, the sidewalks, if you will. They are built from ivy, and their just general construction of buildings is quite glamorous. A lot of the elves feel very comfortable here. Now, the Petal District, this is where the rich and the powerful, they will typically have homes here. Built on the edge of the cliff from Eridan's Hill, it overlooks the city. It has great views. Lords and guild masters have their homes here, and there's a general sense of keeping up with the Joneses as everyone tries to show how wealthy they are by one-upping each other, building bigger houses, getting fancier magical toys. And hidden away within this district, there is a magical school called the College of Mysteries. Its most prestigious and well-educated students receive a full magical face tattoo, and this is considered a badge of honor among its most prestigious graduates. Precipice Quarter used to be a nice place to be until an earthquake destroyed nearly the entire district. The Grand Council of Absalom, they weren't able to save the city and they weren't interested in trying to restore it, so they have just kind of left this area be. It is a hangout for monsters and for thieves and criminals, but there is a retired captain from the First Guard who hasn't given up hope on the city. His office has been sponsoring expeditions to go into this district to try to clear out the monsters, make it safe for people, and slowly but surely he is taking the city district back. The Puddles are a slum district. It is a slum district that was constantly getting flooded, but even within the last 10 years, this district itself is seeing an increase in flooding. Many of the residents here are too poor to go anywhere else and too stubborn to give up their homes. The water that's flowing through the streets is in most cases up to thigh high, but the water levels do keep going up, and in some places in this area it is quite deep. What the residents have been doing instead is lifting up their houses, building them up, and they've been building makeshift bridges between areas that they want to go. Westgate, found on the west side of the city, is a safe neighborhood to be in. Many mid-level shop owners and merchants will tend to live here, so while it isn't a overly wealthy area, it is not a poor area, and it is definitely safe to be. This is largely a residential area. There isn't a lot of businesses, but you will find a lot of row housing, and if you get closer to the edges of the wall or the edges of the district, you can find that these homes will start increasing in size. The Wise Quarter is an area of mass education. The Arcanumerium can be found here, the Great Library of Foray Logos can also be found here, and not to mention, the Grand Council, they have their large headquarters here, and all of the administrative buildings that go to serve the council. This place is filled with students, it's filled with teachers, it is filled with a sense of hope. That is until you get to the Grand Council. Everybody knows administration is where hope goes to die. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about Pathfinder 2nd Edition, there will be a playlist on your screen now. Thank you to all of my patron supporters for continuing to support some random guy on the internet. My name's Nathaniel. Thanks for stopping by, everyone.